I got acid in my eyes. Welcome friends, LostScarf here, and there's only one thing to talk about in this vlog, and that is the story of how Scarf got acid in his eyes. Okay, so before we begin, let me tell you how dangerous this acid is. So we were dealing with fluorosilicic acid. It's a weirdly pronounced thing. It's also weirdly spelled. We deal with this acid. The reason why we deal with this acid is because we put fluoride in the water. You can do it in powdered form or liquid form. We do it in liquid form because we just do it in liquid form. And the reason why you don't want to do it in powdered form is because in powdered form, it'll just stick to you and stay there, and it will slowly eat away at your bones. And if you breathe it in, you're basically breathing in glass. So that's why we don't deal with powdered form. We deal with liquid form, which is still dangerous. And that's what got me, is liquid fluorosilicic acid. Nobody in water likes dealing with fluoride. Everyone hates it, but they do it anyway because we're forced to by the government. And you don't have a choice in the matter. You're just required to have fluoride because, well, the fluoride lobby won. That's basically it. So we deal with this acid. So I'm being trained on this, and we need to flush some lines. We need to flush the caustic line and the fluoride line. We flush the caustic line first. The caustic line is hard lined. It is hard lined, so all we gotta do is just turn some knobs and it's flushing. The fluoride line, for some reason, is not hard lined. You have to use a hose for it. So the fluoride room, it's its own room. All the other chemicals are all together in one room. Alright, so polymer, ferric, ammonia, caustic, they're all together. Oh, actually, ammonia's got its own room too, but I don't remember why. But it's got its own room, and all these are there, and then fluoride's got its own room. And the fluoride room is huge, and it's got a wall of, like, you know those, like, in front of your window, you have those vertical, I can't remember what they're called right now. Those things? Shades? Vertical shades? You got those vertical shades. You got those. So here, we have those. We have those shades. It makes a perfect wall of plastic through these shades. And beyond that is the fluoride. So that's where it is. So yeah, blinds, that's the word, blinds. So you got to go beyond the blinds to the motors and everything. Shut off the motors. Then turn some valves and everything. But the thing is, this one uses a hose instead of being hard lined. Hard lined means there's just a pipe connecting everything, connecting the water and everything. There's no pipe that connects to the fluoride and everything that we need to flush. We have to use a hose. So we hook up the hose and we do everything, and we introduce the water, and we didn't do it correctly apparently, and so the hose popped. It popped. The moment I heard the pop, I look away because you're of course going to look away. And here's the thing. So where I was, the fluoride from the hose popping was going to come right here. Here's what's important. I have glasses. So it would have gotten my glasses and my face, full on face. Now here's the thing to be worried about with liquid fluoride. Liquid fluoride, it gets into your skin easier than the powder does. But the thing is, fluoride is calcium seeking. So what fluoride does is it gets through your skin straight to your bones and eats your calcium away. And so it starts cracking your bones while eating your calcium. That's what this acid does. So picture that on my entire face. That was avoided by looking away. But by looking away, there's a gap. So I perfectly look away, and I get it right in my eyes. just right in my left eye. The right eye looks like it looks like it didn't get hit. Only the left eye did. So I don't, one eye patch is what could happen. So bam, got cut. Part of my face as well. That's what happens. Now here's the thing. While we were setting the flushing and everything, I'm saying to the dude training me, like, yeah, fluoride's pretty bad. Like, it'll eat our bones if it gets on us. It does. I recount all the terrible things the stuff can do as we're setting it up, and then pop. So is that irony? That's irony, right? Like, yeah, this would be some bad stuff if it got on us, and it got on us. So hose pops, it gets us. It got me right here, like got me like all of here and the eyes. I mean the eye. Got me right in the eye. And I felt it. I knew it. I'm like, oh shit. So I realized the situation. The other guy, the guy training me, he got it straight up in the face, in the eyes, both eyes. Keep in mind, he's not wearing glasses. He's just got it right there, all up. So he's got acid all up in his face. And you can feel it. You can feel the burn. You can feel the acid doing what acid does. And he's like, oh. And so it's just mad dash to the eye wash stations. He lets me get the closest one, and then he runs off to another one, which is quite a while away. And we're just doing the eye wash station. The recommendation is flush for 15 minutes. That is ice cold water in your eyeballs for 15 minutes. I say seconds or minutes. 15 minutes in the eyes, all over the face, just all of that, just all up in that, and it's just cold, and you have to deal with it. And it felt like forever. And we probably only did like 6 minutes because it just felt like forever, but you can't tell because you're just in it. And so that's what's happening. We're just like, ah! And then we go upstairs. We tell the third guy, because there was the third guy that was there. We tell him the situation. He's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, we got to report it. There's just too much to not report. Like, it was like a minor thing. It only got on the skin. We could deal with that. But since it got in the eyes and everything, we knew we needed emergency kind of stuff. So we had to report it. So he reports it, tells the supervisor, and also the senior who's higher up than the supervisor. And so that's going out. And then we're just doing more eye wash and everything. And then we get some of the meds out. And we get this ointment called like glucagon or something like that, and it's meant to just inactivate the acid. So it's just this ointment you put. So I'm like 2 handfuls and just blah, just do my whole face, and then we got like a glucose saline solution, just squirting it into the eyes. So just picture like a bottle and just squeezing it with everything you've got to just fire it into your eyeballs. That's what we were doing. It might have looked metal as hell. But that's what we're doing. And then we took showers. And I did not bring any extra clothing. So luckily the other guys had clothing in their lockers, so I got to wear their stuff. And dudes are like, both the guys working with me, they're like 4XL and 5XL. So I'm just wearing a tent. On my upper. And then on the lower, I got like a different pair of jeans. And it's like, okay, that's funny. But took a shower, was in the shower for like 25 minutes, just washing everything, just to be safe, and just hitting the water into my eyes, just doing that, just keep doing that. And because I didn't bring a towel, I had to drip dry. So after all of that, the senior, because the supervisor was out camping, the senior comes, and he's like, all right, you sons of bitches, really, this is my Sunday. And he drives us to the hospital. And we go to the hospital, and we tell them the situation. We're like, yeah, we have acid in our eyes. We need to go now. So they let us in immediately. It's like, acid in the eyes. Okay, you're going in now. So we're in the emergency room and everything. And we're both laid out in the emergency room. And so this is not a common situation, obviously. So the hospital calls poison control. They call poison control. And poison control's like, oh crap, really? Okay. And they're like, okay, so you need to be monitored for 6 hours. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're just laid out, and they do an EKG. They set up a bunch of pads on me. I'm hooked up to a freaking, to the full setup for a hospital. I'm laying in the bed. They got all these pads on me. They got more pads for an EKG. They've got a blood pressure going on right here. And they got like a pulse thing on your finger. The whole thing's happening. I have so many cords hooked up to me. It's nuts. And they're just monitoring me. And then they start taking blood. They take like, I still got the hole right there. They take about 4 vials out of this arm. And they're just checking a bunch of different things. And we're just there. And the doctor's saying a bunch of things. And now here's what happens. Here's what happens. After a while, the doctor's like, all right, well, we got to check your eyes. So we need to check your pH and to see if there's any damage. So we need to stain your eyes. I'm like, all right. So first up, and then they, of course, put some numbing agent in our eyes first. But they're like, okay, first up, we're going to put some litmus paper in your eyes. Like, what? So picture a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper. Because he didn't use just one, he used multiple pieces for some reason. And jab it in your goddamn eye. Just jam it. Don't actually do this, but just picture it. Just jam it in your eye. Just a wad of paper into your eyeball. Now picture he did that, and then did it again. He did it to both eyes. And even after he took the litmus paper out, I could feel them for 10 minutes. I could feel it. Now we're not done, because next comes the staining process. In order to stain my eyeballs, he got like this stick, and he had to jam it into my eye, and I had to close my eye on it so it can get under my eyelid. And he did that. He's like, holy crap, this is, ow. And then he did it again for the other eye. Ow. Ow. Like, I don't know why this was necessary, but that's what he did. And then he uses the blue light and looks at my eyes and everything. Now, here's the thing. These things are staining, so you might have seen the pictures I put on Twitter. The reason why I look like, at this point, I look like a damn yellow raccoon. My eyes are completely covered in yellow, and because I'm on my back and it's just coming out of me, it comes through the sides like this. So I look like a dang yellow raccoon up in here because of the dye. He just used a lot of dye. And just, it hurt. It hurt so much. But here's the thing. While he was jamming litmus paper into my eyes, while he was jamming the dye stick into my eyes, like, they hurt a lot. While he was doing all that, I'm just laughing because there's nothing else I can do but laugh. I'm like, it's ridiculous. All I could do was laugh through the pain. Because I'm like, there's nothing I can do about this situation. There's not a damn thing I can do. And it's just, oh my god. And the doctor was clearly concerned. But what else can I do? By the way, my boss is right there watching the whole thing and cringing at everything. And he's like, you know what, maybe you shouldn't have called, should have reported this, because holy crap. But they do all that, and then a nurse comes back later, they're like, okay, your eyes look okay-ish. But he's just a doctor, he's not a full-on eye guy. He's like, you look fine. Yeah, I was laughing as I was getting stabbed in the eyes. So then there's that, and then he goes, and then later on, a nurse comes by and he says, yeah, for some reason, you're a 0.001 below the required potassium levels. So for this situation, so we're gonna put some potassium in your veins. So we're also gonna give you pills. So they give me horse pills pretty much. Like, how big were these pills? These pills were just this big. My finger, just that much. They were this big, and I needed to eat 2 of them. So I had to swallow these 2 pills. And when they showed me, like, are you sure those aren't suppositories, sir? Because holy crap. Me and my boss died laughing, which was good. But I'm like, they're just huge-ass pills. I'm supposed to swallow them whole. I'm like, ooh, they're going to get stuck in the esophagus, but okay. And just sucked them down. Like, I took them down, drank, got them down as far as I could tell. And that's what happened. And then they put an IV in this same arm that they stabbed earlier for blood. Now, here's the thing. In IV, I should not go into detail on this, but in IV, actually, they're going right into your vein, and it's a long plastic like tube that goes into your vein. It's not a little thing. They're making sure it gets in there. So they put all that in me. The IV's in me. It's all hooked in, and then well, you know what IV looks like. It's just all that plastic, and then it goes up to a bag on a thing, and it's just dripping into me. And there's air in the line. I'm like, is that okay? He's like, oh yeah, little bits of air is okay. It's a lot of air you want to be worried about. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good to know. I always thought any air was bad. Well, okay, good to know about that. And he's like, okay, so here's your potassium, and it's laced with lidocaine. I'm like, why lidocaine? He's like, well, we needed to numb your veins because it's gonna burn going in. It's gonna burn going in. And so, what can I do? I'm like, okay. And it's just slowly going in. And then it's in. I'm like, and it's burning. I can feel the inferno. I can feel the fire in my veins. That's what was happening. It was not good. It was not a good time. It burned. It burned. Oh my god. So that happened, and they're like, okay, alright. So we're going to need to do 3 AKGs, one every hour, and then we're going to need to take your blood every hour to make sure your potassium levels are good. So enjoy that, yes. Oh, and here's your potassium levels were still not great on the second blood draw. I forgot to mention they did another blood draw right then and there. And so, like, after an hour of this IV, they're like, yeah, your potassium levels are still bad, so we need to give you even more potassium. And so, by the way, this is all happening to the other guy too. The guy training me, this is all happening to him. But here's where it changes. They gave him pills again. And he got full on both eyes, full face. Everything happened to him. A lot worse happened to him than me. I got here and my eye. He got here and both eyes. And my boss is telling me, yeah, they're doing a lot more to you than they're doing to him. Like, they're doing a lot more to you. I'm like, what are you trying to say here? What are you telling me here? And so they give him the pills again. They give me this little jello cup of this orange liquid. And I look at him like, oh, okay, it's going to be orange, so it's going to taste like orange. That's going to be fine. And then I start drinking it, and it was not orange. It's like sip and go, gulp the whole damn thing. Basically I was drinking pure seawater. Just think of that. The saltiest, driest liquid thing you could drink. That's what I drank. Apparently that's concentrated potassium, I guess. And it burned. It burned on the way down, and it burned in my tumbler. And I'm like, alright, I need to drink some water. So I drank water, and all it did was spread it around. All it did was spread not the acid, but the burn around. That's what it did. It's like all this for getting some acid in my eye. Which, I forgot to say, so liquid fluoride, like I said, eats your bones. When it comes to your eyes, it eats your retinas. That's why you're worried about this thing. It will eat your retina. So obviously, you don't want that to happen. So that's what's with all this monitoring and everything. Making sure the making sure the fluoride isn't eating anything away from my face. Making sure the fluoride isn't eating anything away from my eyeball either. That's what we're trying to do here. And they're like, oh yeah, so the ophthalmologist called. He said, he doesn't need to see you today. He'll see you tomorrow morning. That'll come up later in the story. So I drink the liquid, and they're just giving me more IVs. They're just pumping more into me over the next 3 hours. By the way, the accident happened at like 8 in the morning. We got to the hospital at 10. happened at 8. No, it happened at 8:30 in the morning. We got to the hospital at 10. So 90 minutes between then and then, with all the washing and everything and the driving around because it took like half an hour to get to there. I don't get out until 7:30 at night. By the way, they held us for a lot longer than 6 hours. But they're doing all these things. Now, here's the thing that happens. When the EKG comes in, it's on a cart. And when the dude with the cart comes in, and he's setting everything up, he accidentally steps on the cord for the IV, and he raises the bed up so he has an easier time, what's the word here? Easier time putting in the EKG thingies, because there's 10 of them you have to put on, they're stickies. And the IV rips out! Because he stepped on the damn cord and it got pulled up. It got pulled out because he was lifting the damn bed. It was like, son of a bitch! So, they had to do that again. More IVs going into me, more potassium going to me over the time. He didn't make that mistake again, thankfully, because he had to do it 2 more times. Nice guy, he's just a son of a bitch. And I get 3 different phlebotomists for the 3 blood draws. Now, the first lady, she comes in, she's got her cart with all the stuff, and she's just doing the whole damn arms, like doing the alcohol wipe and everything, and she's just flicking it, looking for the vein. She finds the vein, and then she just quietly goes in. So she just goes in, does the draws a couple vials, there you go. And that hurts because, going to a vein. That was the first lady, very professional, very nice. Second lady comes in, like older Filipino lady. This lady's been around for a long time. She comes in, she's like, hi, looks at my arms, has me do the arm thing and everything. And she goes, okay, she wipes with the alcohol. She flicks it once and just stabs it right in, like, son of a bitch. I wasn't expecting that. And goes right on in there. And then she just drawing the blood, like, okay, that was something. All right, okay. All right. She didn't even check her. She was like, 1 and in. I'm like, fuck. All right. And the third and final phlebotomist. Oh my god, everything went wrong. Everything. The only thing that didn't go wrong. So here's what happens. She's trying to tell jokes. They're not funny. She's trying to be funny and everything because. So she's trying to be funny and everything. And she does the wipe. She looks at the vein and everything. And she's joking around and everything. She's not looking at this. She's looking at me, just trying to make a joke and everything, trying to make me more easygoing because everything's happening. And she misses. She stabs me and misses. So she has to do it again. So she gets to stab me twice. And then she got the wrong vials. So she has to leave with this still in me. And gets the right vials. And puts them in. And gets the blood. And there you go. And she wraps it all up and everything. And then she's gone. Out of my life forever, thankfully. Oh, reliving this is terrible. Alright, so that all happens. By the way, like, doctors and nurses coming in and out this whole, like, for these, like, 8 hours, like, 7, like, 9 hours. I did the math wrong with that, like, 10 hours? 9 hours. For these 9 hours, doctors coming in and out. I put on Seabiscuit sometime around earlier in that whole hospital visit because they're like, watch a movie. I'm like, you're going to be here a while. I'm like, all right. Put on Seabiscuit. I pause every time someone shows up. I barely finished Seabiscuit by the end of this entire experience. But yeah, blood draw, that's all done. EKGs. More of these IVs. Like my potassium levels were dropping for reasons I don't know. Because I don't fully know the science behind fluoride. So, oh, right. So the last 3 hours, it's time for eye drops. So they bring in erythromycin. And this is an interesting experience. So erythromycin, so they roll up with erythromycin. And erythromycin is a very gooey ointment that goes right in the eyes. So dude's got me laid back, and he sticks it right in my eye and squirts. Sticks it right in my eye and squirts. Right in there. And he's like, just close your eyes and look around. And my eyes are stuck closed. The reason for this is this stuff is sticky as balls. It's very sticky. And it's like, all right, well, I'm all right. I'm like this for now. Okay. Okay. Funny thing happens. This happens, and my trainer's mother shows up with my boss. Like, they both come in. I can't see anything. And he's like, yeah, his mom's here. I'm like, no, this is a nurse. There's no way his mom is here. That's a nurse, right? You brought a nurse with you to mess with me right now. No, the dude's mom actually showed up. My trainer's mom showed up, which is funny. But I can't see a dang thing. It's just, I can't. This has been a day. This has been quite the day. Just checking everything. And they're like, well, we're going to finally let you guys out. We're going to do one more IV bag, and then we'll let you guys out. They do just a vision checking. They do all that stuff. Things seem fine. And then they put that stuff in my eyes again. I'm not driving, so they can do it. So then I'm just blindly walking out of the hospital, and we drive back to work. It is like 8 at night. Got to drive myself home and all this stuff. What I find out is where they're way past work time. So it's like overtime, right? The next day I'm going to find out that none of that counts as overtime. That's all in my time for getting hurt. So son of a bitch, I don't even make any money off getting hurt. So that's just great. And we got to do a bunch of paperwork. And we did a bunch of paperwork during the hospital. During the hospital visit, we did a bunch of paperwork and all that stuff because, well, we got hurt and it's workman's comp and all that stuff. And then they're like, yeah, just see the ophthalmologist at 9 in the morning tomorrow at this location. There you go. So that's the first night. Oh, yeah, right. So besides that is I had to go. So here's the thing. They're like, yeah, you're going to want to get this erythromycin tonight to keep for your eyes. Erythromycin is an antibacterial. It's meant to keep my eyes from getting infected. That's the idea here. And so they're like, you want to get it tonight because we can't give you any from here. So you're going to want to go hit up a pharmacy. All pharmacies are closed right now, even theirs, which is the son of a bitch. I feel like they should be able to make it for you right then and there, but they don't. And so it's just a bunch of driving around looking for a pharmacy. That took a couple hours. Trying to find a 24-hour pharmacy, finding one, then them being backlogged by an hour, but finally getting it and then getting home. With the knowledge that I'm only going to get like 5 hours of sleep because I got work tomorrow morning. And that's Sunday night. That's Sunday. That's all Sunday. Get all the stuff. I'm putting that stuff in my eyes myself. It's a weird experience. And it's Monday. So Monday, me and the other guy, we drive to the ophthalmologist to get checked. And here's where bureaucracy comes in. So we go there, and they're like, yeah, we don't take workman's comp. It's like, what? What do you mean, what? It's like, yeah, our ophthalmologist, this is his place, but he's actually just a consultant for the hospital. He doesn't, unless it's done there, we don't cover it. Like, it has to be done over there through them. We don't cover it here. So, no, you can't do workman's comp here. You can do it out of pocket for $189. We can do that. It's like, what? And then he tries to use his my trainer tries to use his insurance, doesn't count. I try to use my insurance, also doesn't count. It's like, who the hell's insurance counts here? And it's like, okay, well, there's an emergency credit card we can use. We'll try to use that. And so we call a supervisor, and he tries to get permission to use it. And the city's like, no, you're not going to use it for this. Like, this is an emergency. But they don't let us use it. So it's like, well, what the crap do we do now? And it's like, well, just we'll go back to the hospital we were at and get referred from there to a different ophthalmologist. So get this, right now, we don't know if we're going blind. We don't know if there's any major damage to our eyes right now. We don't know anything, because we're supposed to get checked. We have no idea. My eye is hurting during this entire experience, because I don't know if it's stress or if something's happening to my eye. It hurts. The dude who trained me, both his eyes hurt. They both hurt. And so we're just not sure what the hell. So we go to the hospital, and it takes a couple hours. We get to see a general doctor. He looks at our eyes like, okay, I'm not sure either. So here's we'll set it all up, and you get called at the end of the day. So luckily for the dude training me, because he had it a lot worse, they call him, and he goes an ophthalmologist later on in the day, and he gets all checked out. Me, it's the end of the day. It's 5 p.m. I'm like, what the hell? I call, and they're like, yeah, you're not going to see anyone yet. They're still trying to figure out who to refer you to. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? And then they finally, because of me calling, it prompts them to actually get it going. And they finally get me someone, and like, yeah, you got to be there in half an hour because they're closing, so you got to go there now. I was like, it's a 20-minute, it's not 20 minutes, it's a 40-minute drive, and I have 30 minutes. So speeding happened. So get there. Now, funny thing, before that happened, I was being a little cute, and that is not with us, but we had an intern at work, cute girl. And I asked her to help me out with my eye drops. Because of course I did, because that's the thing to do when you're Scarf. And she's like, okay, she's helping me out. The problem is she's a very giggly girl. Very giggly. Extremely giggly. Too giggly. So to help me out with my eye drops, she's just giggling the whole time and pokes me in the damn eye with my own eye drop. With the dropper. Making matters worse. Alright, and then later in the day, I finally go see an ophthalmologist. I go see the ophthalmologist. Nice lady. Pretty cool lady. Very pregnant lady. And, I suppose it's my fault. Getting stabbed in the eye. So, see the ophthalmologist, and she's like, okay, yeah, yeah, you don't look too bad, and there is some irritation there, not so good, yeah, no, wait. I messed it up. Monday was a wash. I didn't even get to see a doctor Monday. He did. Tuesday is when I saw the ophthalmologist. Wow, my memory sucks. So Monday, I didn't get to see anyone. I called them at the end of the day on Tuesday. Like, at the end of Monday, they're like, yeah, we still don't have anything. That gets them into action. And then Tuesday, they tell me, like, yeah, we got a place, but you got to be there in half an hour. I forgot I was stupidly patient. I was more patient than I should have been, because I finally got on their ass on Tuesday. Oh my god, why was I that patient? Luckily, my trainer got seen on Monday. And I think the reason why I got on their ass on Tuesday is because Tuesday morning I found out he had 2 scratches in his eyes. 2. They put a membrane on his eyes. They put a membrane, they're like, don't look anything, like don't look any light. Don't have any strong winds. He had scratches. My boss wonders if the litmus paper did the scratching, because that dude got right up in his eyes too. But he had 2 scratches in his eyes. So that had me freaked out. I'm like, come on. And then, yeah, I got to see an ophthalmologist on Tuesday. And she saw everything, and then she recommended steroids and some preservative eye drops. Literally, they are eye lube. So she gave me literal eye lube and steroids as her recommendations, as her prescriptions. So I have 3 drops now. Well, that's Tuesday. Wednesday is when I get these drops. So Wednesday's the end of this tale. So it's Tuesday. She says, yeah, get these things. She gives me some free samples. She gave me some free samples so that I can do this already to my eyes, so I don't have to worry about it. And I can get the medication on Wednesday. So she gave me some samples of those of those eye drops Tuesday, so I don't have to worry about that night, and I get them Wednesday. By the way, the nurse on Sunday, he would not let us take the extra erythromycin from the tube he gave us that they're just going to dump anyway, because he's like, I'm not allowed to, but this lady can, I guess because she's a doctor and he's a nurse, which would have been nice because I wouldn't have had to do all that stuff to get freaking erythromycin that night. But all that happens, and so Wednesday, I go to a pharmacy to get my drops. So I have 3 drops. I'm going to have 3 drops I've been doing, throughout the last couple of days, I've been doing these 3 drops. And so it's Wednesday, I go to the hospital, to the pharmacy, I'm like, okay, here's the stuff I need. They're like, okay, that'll be $180. I'm like, you what? Like, yeah, it's 180. I'm like, but workman's comp. Workman's comp? What's going on? I was like, wait, what? Apparently, nobody knows. Here's what I've learned about bureaucracy. The left hand never knows what the right hand and the next left hand and right hand are doing, and so on and so forth. So, it over and over and over again is just miscommunications between different people. My insurance, workman comps, the city's insurance, the different hospitals and pharmacies I am talking to, each one is having problems because they're not in line. They're not streamlined in any way. They don't have any good communication. It is ridiculous. And it turns out that they didn't think I had, like, they put it on my insurance instead of workman's comp, which is why that 180 is actually reduced price, apparently. I'm like, wait, it should be workman's comp pays for this, for the love of God. Like, I got hurt in the job. I didn't get hurt at home or something. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So they look it up and everything. Like, yeah, they still need to, they're like, yeah, the government still needs to approve, and it's going to take about 24 hours. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I make calls. I make a bunch of calls, because I'm like, come on. I kind of really need these for my eyes, because I don't want to go blind. Really don't want to go blind. And, well, mainly this one. The other one I'm doing it too as well, just in case it is scratched by the litmus paper. That's why I'm doing both instead of just the left eye. So it also, by the way, these drops sting like a beach. So it's really fun. So, I make calls, and I hear in the background, I hear them misspelling my name to each other. I'm like, no, that's not how my name's spelled. And then I'm like, I told them the address of the pharmacy, and I told them the address of the doctors and everything. And I hear them just saying the wrong address and the wrong doctor name. I'm like, no, it's this and it's this. And it's like, and then I hear them say the wrong drug name. And it's just, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Everything is ridiculous. Everything. And I wish I made any of this up. Finally, they clear this all up. And like, yep, your drugs are free. There you go. Like, you just have to pay the copay. I'm like, son of a... But, so I still have to pay a little bit, but not all of it. And I get these drugs. Well, I call them drugs, but they're eye drops. The drips. So I get their eye drops and everything. And that's where we are now. That was Wednesday. Today's Friday. The vlog comes out on Saturday. And that's the whole story for now. I see an ophthalmologist again on Sunday. So I take steroids 2 times a day. I use these preservative drops 3 to 4 times a day. And then before bed, I have to use erythromycin, which is the honey one, like the really sticky one. So I'm going to bed with just sticky eyes. That is the time Scarf got acid in his eyes. That is the whole story. And this is recorded live. Anyone have any questions before we end this? Because it's at 40 minutes. Jinx is going to not be happy about that. But it's a hell of a roller coaster story. And I hope that's the end of it. The dude training me, he's back at work. He says he's good. He's just got to do the drops and they burn like hell. Me, I'm good. My left eye still bugs me a little bit, but I got the steroids for it. And I got to take roids after this, too. Will Scarf be dressing as Joker during Halloween? Oh, God. Apparently I can do it, as I've worn the eyeshadow at least, and laughed. Oh God, laughed with pain, laughed in pain. Yeah, it's a story. That is the story. By the way, right outside the door of the fluoride room was the PPE. The protective equipment you're supposed to be wearing when you deal with fluoride. And we didn't wear it because we thought everything was going to go without a hitch. That's simple as that. We were complacent and we got hurt for it. Because normally you wear a full-on bodysuit and a shield, like a full-on shield, like a welder's mask, but it's fully clear. Normally you wear that. And we didn't wear that because yes, safety first. Yes, safety first. Because we were just complacent. The obvious lesson is don't be complacent and wear your safety stuff. And obviously I'm going to do that from now on. And I guess the story's not completely done because we are now, me and the guy who trained me, are now the poster boys for the entire city of what not to do. So that is the legend of me for the city now, is I'm one of the two guys who got almost blinded because they weren't wearing their safety stuff. That's just great. I will officially be in the city for 1 year in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'll be in textbooks. Oh my God. So my boss and my boss's boss are just calling me Mr. Safety and eye patch and just pirate jokes left and right, and it's just ah They're like, do we need to get you a seeing eye dog? Do we need to get you a dog? Should we get him a placard? It's like, you guys suck so much. Oh my God. And yeah, that's just great. That's great. Like, I don't want to face anybody in the city right now. I don't want to face anybody. I really don't. But yeah. What superpowers am I betting on? Daredevil's what we all expect, isn't it? I don't know, I got steroids, I got fire in my veins. I don't know what the hell else. I don't know. There you go. Urge to fight crime and senses. Oh God. Who doesn't have an urge to fight crime? Alright, last minute questions, and we're gonna end this out because we went long, but Scarf gets Kirby power. Oh my God, that'd be cool. So yeah, that's the vlog. That's it. Just straight up. What else can we talk about? It's that's the vlog. That's the time Scarf got acid in his eyes. Well, I keep saying eyes just because plural, but in his eye. So that right there is the vlog. Oh my God, that was a roller coaster. I had fun talking. Oh yeah, Tuesday I'm gonna get a talking to, by the way. Tuesday I'm gonna get a talking to by the head safety guy. And then the week after, my boss has to do a safety meeting with everyone because of all this. It's like, thanks, you bastards. It's like, now I gotta make a whole meeting. Now I gotta make a PowerPoint. It's like, you guys suck so much. It's like, sorry, boss. So, there's still more to go. But I think all the major events have happened at this point. I hope. But there you go. All right, there's the vlog. I have fun talking. I'll be fun watching and listening, and that's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Like, come by and see you next time.